Good morning, StarCraft fans. This is day 2 of the round of 8. It's going to be another Terran versus Zerg, and again, to help us with the Zerg analysis, it is the one and only Eonzerg. What's going on?
What's up, Nyoken? I'm glad to be here, man. Soulkey versus JYJ. I can't really wait for this. I was looking so much for this match, like the rematch and the revenge tour from Soulkey. That I feel like it's going to be a good day.
Yeah, the revenge tour. Yeah, before the season started, you and I did a video and we had 3 picks each of who we thought were going to do well in the tournament. My picks were Hero, I think it was Royal, and then JYJ, and if I remember correctly, yours were Soma, Soulkey, and Bisu, and here we are, our 2 remaining picks facing off in the round of 8. It's gonna be fun.
I think so, man. Like yeah, like last season, it was actually like fire. Like the last game, it was so like playing in the edge of what is possible, and Soulkey like holding so hard, like trying to overcome like a really difficult position. And yeah, man, like if today is Soulkey actually has a good day, we are going to enjoy this CBT series.
Yeah, and then if he does win here, he gets to play another turn versus Zerg versus Rush in the round of 4, who kind of crushed through Hero yesterday. We have 2 more upcoming matches. It's going to be next week. We've got Sharp versus Mini. Looking forward to that. And then, of course, Effort versus Action, a ZVZ. So guaranteed, at least, we're going to have another Zerg into the round of 4. But yeah, this particular matchup, oh, I'm very hyped that they get to face off again. Last season, JYJ pulled out I don't know how many different builds, and they were all so deadly. And the Wraith play, did he beat Soulkey twice with Wraith? I know he won on Retro, but then there was a map on 76. Maybe it was not Soulkey, but he also
No,
pulled
no,
out
it was
Wraith there.
against Hero, I believe.
Yeah, Hero. You think we could see Wraith again? Imagine if we get to Retro and he does it again. Well, I guess we're going to go into some highlights, so 1 second. Well, folks, the highlights here, they have some music in the background, so we're going to have to mute it. But just so you know, the beginning text said this was a rematch from last season. So a revenge match, I mean. So it's going to be epic. All right, here we are. We're back, and we're going into the interviews. But yeah, a revenge match. I was mentioning I want to see the Wraith play again on Retro if we get there, which is going to be the 4th map, so it's likely to get there.
Yes. Funny enough, there are a few maps, Nyoken, that I believe are good for like race play. One of them's being Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
The other one is Tempest. So I don't really know if he's going to do it, but like from what I have seen on ladder, it's very popular to expect these builds on such maps.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it, and I'm very happy that we get Tempest first. Yesterday I was hoping we would get to Game 5 so we could have a big slugfest on Tempest, but never happened. But at least we're gonna get Tempest on Game 1. And that could be setting up for an epic, huge macro play because that map has so many bases. All the bases are all over the place. Could really test the multitask of both players.
By the way, Nyoken, remember on Tempest, there is a cliff in the natural. So like imagine actually like starting to a starports and like actually transitioning to a drop play and putting all the units like in that high ground and being annoying to the gas.
Yep.
That could be like a really good play in my opinion.
That could be an interesting play. You think that's really a viable move versus Zerg though, since they always have the Mutalisk? Like what would you drop up there? Marine Medic
If he
Ball?
has like map control, I can see that happening. Like what I mean is like imagine like
Ah,
a situation like it was on retro last season, that he actually like contains Soulkey so much. If that kind of like like situation happens, like I can see that being like a very interesting move.
that would be a cool style. I don't know how viable that would be, but it would be pretty cool to see it if he can actually make something like that work. Just so you guys know, I ended up muting the audio again because they have music playing for some reason during the interviews. Yesterday they didn't have the music playing, so don't know why they're doing
It
it.
has to be because Soulkey love music. Like guy is
Yeah,
always like doing karaoke or stuff like that.
maybe it hypes him up, man. But yeah, that could be a cool idea on Tempest. Um, I'm trying to think what our other maps are. La Campanella, I think was it third? I can't remember exactly. But yesterday I was looking to see if Hero would pull any three hatch plays out, but it never happened. We actually saw the classic two hatch often. We saw the 2.5 hatch, I think, once. As far as Tempest goes, you think we'll see two hatch again, or could that be a three hatch map?
Since like the chance of like facing Grace is so high, I could probably expect that classic two hash muta.
Okay, and why do you like the two hatch play versus Wraith compared to
Well, it's
three
because
hatch?
the spire timing, like
Okay.
it's you need to face these paper planes in some
Yeah.
way. So if you are actually doing 2.5, is the layer timing is a bit delayed, so it's not really optimal against that kind of build.
Okay. I mean, it all makes sense. I guess I was wondering because in the few games that we did see race already this season, I think I remember players just going straight into Hydra Den. They didn't really necessarily rush the Spire. They kind of just tried to defend with the Hydras. But of course, that makes sense.
Um, by the way, talking about retro, like last season, the two starports. If you ask me, that was like not one of the maps I would probably expect it. So I'm really curious if he actually like he's going to mess up this time, probably going a Barrack or a different play. I don't really expect like it has to be way too crazy to go to a Starports again on retro.
Yeah, Retro's a map where you can wall a lot of the positions, really allows you to take a fast expansion quite easily. You can power out of it really hard on minimal defense. I agree that it was an unorthodox map to go Wraith, but any map that you can wall is always a viable map for Wraith. And it looks like our interviews are about to be done. And we're going to be getting into the games in just a second.
Yeah. By the way, is the next stage of semis is a best of 7 already?
Um, Best of 7. I don't think so. I think best of 7 is just the finals. I'm not sure if they have the third place match being best of 7 anymore. I think it's still best of 5. We're getting a look at the maps today. It's Tempest, Polypoid, Invader, Retro, and then La Campanella last.
And Polypoid, man. Polypoid is such a difficult map for to do anything really. is is so stale right now. It's like it Terran just like can defend so well. It's so optimized like against mutas as well. Like every build they just like it fit perfectly against muta builds. Uh, Terran really like figure out polypod. I mean, it's been in the map for quite some time already, so it makes sense that the longest the map is around, the longest like Terran is going to get better and better.
Yeah, that's definitely true. And we're getting a look at how last season went. We had JYJ and Soulkey alternating wins in their final series. And we're looking at the history of JYJ's run through the Zergs last season. It says that he was a Terran specialist. He took down Soxry, then he beat Queen, then he beat Soulkey, then he beat Hero, and then currently in season 16 he took down Calm. He lost to Effort, and then he beat Calm again. So overall, in 7 series versus Zerg, he is 6-1. That's some crazy stats.
Um, it's really impressive. It's crazy to me. He actually lose to effort, by the way. Like you could like expect like effort, like it's like the most inactive one. That, but it is what it is, man. Effort is too good.
Yeah, Effort is crushing it this season. And I may have misspoke. Last season we didn't have a third place match. We probably don't have a third place match this time around. I would have to check Wikipedia to confirm that or not. But yeah, we may not actually have a third place best of 5 like I mentioned, but that's how it was in previous seasons, season 4 and season 14 and before. We're getting now a look at Soulkey stats, who is obviously very good versus Terran. You can see he's got a 55% win rate.
Yeah, man. Look at these stats. To be honest, like against Protoss, he's doing so great.
Yeah, 60% win rate. That's crazy. And someone in chat is mentioning, like you said, Wikipedia semifinals are best of 7. I guess I wasn't aware that they may have changed that. That's a lot of games to play in the semifinals, by the way. I don't think I've seen best of 7 in the semifinals in any of the ASL seasons, if I remember correctly.
Is that many games, Nyoken?
7 for
Yeah,
semifinals, and then you're going to play 7 for the finals?
yeah. In the foreign scene, they have like best of 5
Oh,
finals or something like that.
yeah, well, I know BSL plays tons of games.
So
Tons of
crazy.
games,
Like
yeah.
to me, like best of 7 is nothing actually, Nyoken.
It's just a warm-up for you. Well, we did get a look at JYJ's stats, crushing it versus Zerg. It said something like 57% win rate. So overall, win rates are very similar for both players.
Yeah. JYJ, man. This season is already doing like better than well what Royal did after winning the championship. So looks like he's really taking this season like very serious. He's really committed. I have to be honest, and I didn't like I hear nothing about JYJ since he won the last ASL. Like, and not about like shocking results in pro leagues or anything like that. To be honest, I don't really tune in too much to his stream either. I don't even know if he streams very often. So, but yeah, so far in the ASL, he's doing great.
Yep, just like last season. It's not that he necessarily came out of nowhere, but he was definitely under the radar. And sometimes you can play better when there's not that high of expectation for you. Not that there aren't this season, of course, because he won last season, but when you can play more freely, you can just play your A game and potentially, play a bit better than you normally would have. Now, I do want to point out here, does Soulkey not have the headphones, the noise canceling headphones? Looks like he's missing them.
Yeah, he's in the zone, Nyoken.
Okay, there we go. Noise canceling headphones, they are important. When you're in a live studio, you can definitely hear the crowd say some things. I can say from experience that one of the WCGs, I got 4 pulled by machine, by the way. And even though I couldn't hear exactly what Day 9 was saying, you know, you could hear bits and pieces slightly of what he was saying, but it still caught me off guard that Machine was going for a 4-pull. But of course, noise canceling headphones will cancel that out. Our players are ready. Let's get into game one. It is Tempest. And in the top left corner, Eonzerg, looking for revenge from last season. It's Soulkey. And in the top right, our Terran champ, it is JYJ.
Yeah, Tempest is one of the most fun maps to play on ladder. There's so many directions you can attack, so many expansions to take, so much chaos as well. Probably as a third player, is something that I really enjoy.
It's gonna be 8 racks time. Maybe not. This is Tempest, where there is a long distance to move your SCV from the main.
It's actually 8 racks.
It is 8 racks. I think this is a good build. He's gonna punish an early hatch. That is a deep 8 racks, man. That is an 8 racks that's not floating back.
Yeah, it sounds to me like he wanna do like maybe a factory transition.
Yeah, it could be. For sure, this does look like an 8 racks with intention to go for something like 1-1-1. Soulkey not going to be going for the hatch, or for the pool first, I mean. So this has potential to
By the way, Nyoken, Soulkey didn't scout with the Overlord to the natural. He went to the main.
Yeah, now his Overlord's going back to the natural for him, so he can spot this bunker that's incoming. That's critical, because if this bunker gets set up and it's on high ground, oh man.
Oh.
Did I miss something?
Yeah, he's making refinery. So if I don't mistake, this is the build he did against Hero, and he transitioned to 2 starports from that, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, this could be the double starport that you're talking about. We've got double SCVs being sent out. Smart move from JYJ to... Oh, he did not turn the SCV deck. Okay, well, now it doesn't matter because the 8 racks has been revealed. Bunker needs to go up ASAP. Where will he put it, though? He actually didn't put it at the ramp like I was expecting.
The thing is, Nyoken, this is not like the big commitment as Terran. So you don't really want to bring too many drones to defend this either.
Yeah. At least the drones have high ground here. Like, the Marines are on the low ground. They're going to be out of... They're not going to have sight to push in. So it's not as easy to make this work as compared to a map like Polypoid or something. But I'm trying to look at what area Soulkey can actually drill on. You can see his Overlord at the bottom middle has vision of those minerals, so he can drill. But there's only 6 drones here. I remember hearing... Shouldn't Zerg pull like 8 drones? There they are. There's the additional drones.
Serlings are about to be ready, and the factory is already started for JYJ also. So far, a very clean game for JYJ here.
Yeah,
that bunker is about to finish, man.
I think it is going to finish. This is so close. It's like 10 health, and he gets all 3 of them. Oh, he gets all 3 in. Okay, and the SCVs, can they repair? They repair a little bit, and he tries to knock down an additional drone, but that was, I think, pretty good defense. What do you think, Eonzerg?
It was a good defense, but at the same time he made too many Serlings, and remember the factory is already like probably finished and making a vulture. These Serlings are not going to do any damage, in my opinion, and Soulkey has to be making a Hydra Dane here to defend like a possible starport.
Yep, and there is the starport just out in plain sight. If the Zerglings can get in here and spot it, he may have actually been able to spot it. Oh man, he is so close to seeing it. Now he's going to see it, but he only sees 1. So even though he sees a starport, he's not sure if this is going to be 2 port or just 1-1-1.
Yeah, but aren't you supposed to be making like only 1 vulture if you were like doing 2 starports?
Oh, he canceled. He actually faked the starport to go into a fast command center. Because I don't play Wraith, I actually don't know how many vultures you're supposed to build here, but I do like that he ended up mixing it up right now. And what makes this even more punishing is because of what you said earlier. There's no Overlord over the ledge to even spot this.
Yeah, Soulkey making a hide, but then... You know what? It's interesting because JYJ now doesn't have the starport to scout anymore. So he has to be careful. He can die here to a Hydra Rush if he's not careful. But you know what? JYJ actually making a machine shop, probably going to make mines.
Yep, probably going to get mines, get some map control with that. I already think Soulkey's in really big trouble. And the reason I say that, if we look at his build, where's his lair, man? Has he even started the lair? Okay, he just now started it. But there's no Spire anytime soon. It's not like he has a third hatch. I don't know.
By the way, these Zerglings are going to be intercepted.
Yep, Ling's going to be knocked off the map, and now he really has no intel on what's going on. I guess he's probably confused why there's no Wraith right now. Probably realized by now.
By the way, Nyoken, explain me something, because that recovery timing was way too fast.
Yeah.
Why? He's making why?
Well, I think it could be because if this guy had gone straight Spire, he's got to have some anti-air. He can't just live off of only turrets. But he may also be trying to rush +1 so he can get his +2 timing, because +2, it's not just good versus Protoss, it's actually a massive spike for Terran in Terran versus Zerg. And look at this. Soulkey has been duped. He still thinks it's Starport, but he thinks it was for a Vulture drop.
Yeah. But at this point, he even made a Sunken, man. That is not good.
Yeah, JYJ with the huge mind game, and it is really paying off this game. Also, with it being high ground, all of a sudden 2-hatch Hydra busts aren't even really that scary. So this has just been a genius play from JYJ, and it's actually not going to be for mech. It's going to be for bio play. We're going to have the fantasy style Goliath Marine Medic as the follow-up.
Yeah, it's really... You know, you were talking about mech yesterday, or we were talking about that. Like, it would be nice to see mech play. And look at this, we have actually, like, to be fair, JYJ tried mech plays in the last season. It just never worked.
Yeah. Oh, well, he is going to reveal his hand. He does have Goliath, but that doesn't really tell Zerg very much. It just tells him that, hey, he built Goliath. It could be the full mechanic like we were talking about. It could be the bio play with the Goliaths, and there go the barracks right now. What you're looking for here is something like 4 to 5 barracks, plus double factory is really good, but even just one with non-stop Goliaths for so long would still be very good.
We're recalling here that last season JYJ tried this build at least 2 times, and he always like just doing it.
Yeah.
He was like hard punished with mutas. Let's see if it's this time actually he figured out something out. But to be fair, in this game, like, I feel like he has like some good delete to actually make this work.
Yeah, if he can't make it work with this type of opener, I don't think it will really ever be viable versus any of the Zergs, because this is about as big of a lead as you can get. The turrets are placed perfectly, the Goliaths are spread really well, and still Soulkey has no idea what this actually is. We have him expanding to bottom left.
Yeah, man, Soulkey, he's taking that expansion so far, Nyoken, that makes me think he actually like he expects this kind of build. Like, usually when you play against mech, you don't really take that far bases because of the vultures.
Yeah, that is true. And also with it being on high ground, it's gonna make it a little bit easier to defend. I'm waiting to see, can he do that tank drop to the high ground that you were talking about, but no starport, so I don't think that's gonna be on the menu this game. We do have the first few medics finally coming out. The muta count is sizable. What's it, 10 right now? He should know something's up because Terran's no longer mining gas at his natural despite going for a mech opener.
By the way, me thinking here, like, Soulkey, the answer for this, and there is Borro Nyoken, so he's going to see to see these units, by the way. But the answer for this is either like mass mutas or like lurkers in the high ground could be really useful. I'm not really sure if Soulkey has lurkers already.
Yeah, I like the lurker hydras. I can tell you that I don't think mutilating is the play here. The Goliaths, they should have +1 armor, and that's going to make them so tanky. The mutas come in, one of them instantly dies, and Soulkey... Okay, we hear all these scans go off. If he finds bottom left, this base cannot be held. It's just impossible. He's going to hold his main and natural, but bottom left, that's not going to happen. And it looks like it did get scanned, and you can see JYJ on the move in that direction.
I'm not really sure how Soulkey is going to save this base. Like, the lurkers are not going to be ready, and that one sunken, I don't think it's enough.
He's stimming for it. Okay, the lurkers are not in position. The Marines, they do have +1. They hit really hard. You got to burrow those lurkers. There's actually not that much bio left over. Soulkey bought enough time to actually allow these lurkers get set up.
Yeah, he wasted scans as well, so... But yeah, I don't think it's enough.
Yeah, it's not going to be enough, even with the sunken and the 2 lurkers there. The lurkers may be a little bit too far forward. You can see Soulkey trying to evacuate the drones, but not going to happen.
Probably going for a counter-attack now. It's going to be his place, and honestly, this could work. If he has like enough lurkers, maybe he can bust the national.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Oh, there is a tank.
If he could have gone for an instant counterattack, I think it could have worked. But now that it's been delayed, I'm not too sure about that. Oh my gosh, the +1 armor, a lifeline for Soulkey right there, or for JYJ right there, allows his tank to actually survive.
There is not even a speed to this earning, so that counterattack wasn't as powerful, and there was not lurkers either. I mean, I'm not really sure Nyoken, like what is like Soulkey play here. He's trying to expand again. But can you really transition from this?
I don't think so. 12-minute Queen's Nest? That's pretty late, especially with Terran now going into vessels. By the time you have a Defiler, Terran's going to legit have 8 vessels by then.
He has 2 starports as well, so yeah. And he has like so much power in the ground, like Goliaths, Marines, lurkers. Oh my god.
Well, this is the type of move that he needs, but unfortunately it hits right when Terran has +1 armor in his Marines. If there was one more lurker there, he would have done a lot of damage.
But also then the bio is not as big as before.
Yep. It is not as
so
big.
One could engage all the tanks are exposed.
Yeah, he's got to get those. Like, this is the moment he's waiting for with his Meadow to pick off an isolated tank like that. One tank takes a long time to knock down 5 Sunkens. Oh, he might get the next tank. Okay, there we go. And look at bottom left. At least Soulkey has hidden the base, so he's not out of it just yet.
Yeah, he even denied that SCB to build the command center. So, but yeah, like the army is massive for JYJ. The vessel count is super high. Like, even if it's like losing tanks, like just like having like that many. Oh, look at this! It's like the vessel. Okay, so magic is happening, Nyoken.
Yeah, the magic is happening for Soulkey right now. He's saying, I'm not out of it just yet, JYJ. But I think JYJ must have scanned mid-left because those Marines, they're moving over to the left side and they're moving quick.
Yeah, this army is massive. And that expansion.
Oh no.
Oh, is this?
Oh, can you catch? Okay.
Oh my god.
He catches a decent chunk. And look, isolated tanks. Irradiate comes down. It's pretty good. He gets 1 tank. He gets the 2nd tank. Okay.
I think JYJ just like lose so much army here, all the tanks, and he still need to deal with Darker, so...
Yeah, I think it still doesn't matter just because of what the lead is. But yeah, Soulkey is really doing work with a small amount of units and a small amount of lurkers. Only 1 lurker, this isn't going to work.
Yeah. Yeah, to be fair, the disadvantage was big. For a moment he was doing so well, but yeah, like we mentioned, it's just is too much, and he's losing that tier base again. Terran taking his own tier base. We are probably going to see a GG soon.
Yep, getting more than doubled in supply. The muta count is not high anymore. The Ling's count is pretty pitiful. All the mutas are going to die. GG comes out. Well done. And that means that JYJ, he's going to strike first in this series and go up 1-0.
Yeah, but I feel like he got too much damage from the bunker rush. Like he lost too many drones. He made too many Zerlings as well. And then like JYJ played that mind game with the starport and like forcing him to make Hydras, to make a Sunken in the main. So you can say that Soulkey was like slowed down like quite a bit.
Yeah, definitely. It was just way too much damage. And the fact that he had no intel on the command center timing at all. He was just completely thrown off. And that can happen when you don't have vision. I mean, it's just that simple. So, interesting build from JYJ. I love how he can play so many different styles, too. Like, it's just crazy how many build orders this guy has.
Yeah, and the funny part is that it wasn't even like his first idea.
Yeah. Like, if the Lings don't come in there, we probably would have just seen a 1-1-1 opener.
You know what, Nyoken, like few more lurkers in the base, maybe it could make a difference.
Yeah, I was actually about to ask this. The lurkers are forward. If he had put it right next to the sunken, like where the sunken gets shot by the Goliaths instead of the lurkers, do you think he could have held there, or did it probably just not matter?
With this with the only when these two lurkers or he had, like I don't think so. Like he needed more sunkens for sure, or like way more lurkers than that.
All right, well, we're going to be going into a break, and then we'll be back with game 2. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are already back, and we're about to get into game 2. JYJ up 1-0 already with a bunch of mind games, completely catching Soulkey off guard, and now it's actually going to be JYJ's map pick.
Yeah, Soulkey has to learn the lesson from that game. And to be fair, like starting the series and doing a racks like that, starting the series with a rush, it can be tricky. Sometimes you're like a bit sloppy. It's like the first game, so yeah, you can get a good damage. Honestly, it was a good decision to do a build like that as the first game, and he took the map from Soulkey as well. So great start here for JYJ.
Yep, really good start, and it also sets the tone for the series, like you said, where you just play aggressive in their face. I actually would like to see JYJ 8 racks again, especially if he gets bottom right, where you can float the racks back. That would really kind of get it in the head of Soulkey, because if he wins game 2 with double pressure play, and then we get into game 3 and Soulkey's down 2-0, oh man, I can't even imagine what would be going through Soulkey's head. So we're about to get into game 2. It is Polypoid. Okay, in the bottom right, Eonzerg. It is Soulkey. And in the bottom left, our blue Terran. It is JYJ.
By the way, Nyoken, I want to mention that now that you're talking about Soulkey head, like being down 0-2, actually Soulkey won StarCraft 2 championship GSL against Innovation, and he was like down 0-3.
Oh.
He come back from that.
Damn, and Innovation's one of the GOATs in StarCraft 2, so that's very, very impressive. Couldn't exactly read what that sign said, and we do have SCV going out again, Eonzerg, and this looks like another 8 racks.
It is. The guy in the chat, greetings from Canada. Soulkey StarCast Zero.
Oh, it's not an 8 racks. Okay, that depot was a little bit late maybe, but we're gonna have the semi-wall from JYJ. I guess that guy is really expecting JYJ to repeat champ this season. There's the barracks coming down. Actually, that looks like a big gap. Maybe I'm just crazy here, but anyways, we've got a 12 hatch coming down for Soulkey.
Man, something that stuck in my head is like, why Soulkey decided to scout the way he did in the last map? Like, he didn't scout the natural, he went for the main.
Yeah, if he had just scouted normal, that game would have been completely different. He would have had a full read on what JYJ was doing. He wouldn't have been thrown off guard at all. Well, I'm looking at
We're going to see a 2.5 hatchery build here. Okay. Oh, is the yeah?
Yep, there's the pool. There's the 210 gas. It's a little more economy. And barracks is going to complete. I was going to say if I was Soulkey, I would really want to get into the main. But I think every time JYJ has gone for a one-base play, other than last game with the 8 racks, which is a little different, he's walled off his main as opposed to the natural. So maybe Soulkey already knows that there can't possibly be gas behind this. 4 on gas? Oh,
wow.
3 on gas, but one of them not mining, man. There we go.
I like Terrans that do this kind of move with the Marines, like so aggressive and makes you think like they're going to attack, but then they retreat. Sometimes they commit, but most of the time they retreat.
Yeah, you gotta be careful with your Marines when you do that, of course. If you misread, and for example, like 2 lings get built at the natural, and they just run across the map and attack like 2 versus 2 Marines versus lings, you can lose your Marines like that. But yeah, it is a good play from Terran to pressure whenever you can. We do have an extremely fast gas, and the reason for that is it's going to be +1 weapon for Terran. No Academy opener this time around.
These Marines, man, are getting closer and closer to Soulkey National. Oh, he's losing that. No, he actually saved it, okay.
Yeah, big deal to keep that single Ling alive. 3 Marines, 4 Marines. Once you start reaching 4 Marines, you can really easily pop those drones and Lings. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He may lose 2. Okay, he doesn't lose an additional Ling, but if he had... Oh, look at this. Soulkey was actually building more Lings. He's built, what, 8 Lings?
Yeah, but he's scouting like JYJ build here, Nyoken. You don't really want to get scouted like this as a Terran player. Already spoiling the build. You already like, you know, like he can like already like skip so many timings.
Yeah, that is true.
I think like now Soulkey can drone freely. You know, like doesn't need to take care about like 2 barracks pressure or anything like that.
Yep, Lings do run in, show themselves. It was not 8 Lings. I think it was just an additional 6 for Soulkey. Spire has started. We're about a third of the way. And third hatch is in the main for Soulkey.
I asked myself what he's going to spend next. Maybe taking a new main, like these positions. I would be surprised to see like close expansion.
Yeah, I would also be surprised. I wanted to ask you, since you obviously don't get a Ling Scout like that often, but let's say you do see the +1 weapon, which is what Soulkey saw. What do you think the ideal follow-up is for Zerg?
You know, like just like you're more and more like calm about like making sunken. Because like usually when they're doing 2 barracks pressure, most of the time you need to start the sunken covering early on. Otherwise like you can die to a steam rush. So in this case, he just like can drone freely, and probably you're going to send that drone to take an expansion early on. Oh, okay. So yeah, just like, you know, play more freely, I guess.
Yeah, but that's exactly what we're seeing, because Soulkey is going to top right to take that expansion. He still has no sunken, even though he saw stim, because he knows that, hey, you only have 6 Marines, and I know you're on 1 racks for a long time. There's no way you can possibly have many more Marines. So really good read from Soulkey. We've got bunker coming down, turrets coming down all over the place. First few mutalisks are en route to JYJ's base.
It's good that JYJ is making a bunker there, so he doesn't lose the supplies. Oh well, maybe he's actually gonna lose 1.
Yeah, he may lose this. Just 1 single depot. Okay, that's only 1 turret. You gotta be careful. I actually thought JYJ was going to move out, but he is... Okay, he is moving out.
He's moving out, and Soulkey has to make a decision here. Mass Erlings or build many Sunkens.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to see the mass Lings coming out. In fact, we do. And we heard a double scan go off. He does scout both of the top right bases, and he knows exactly where that hatch is. Hope it's going to be a counter. It is just going to be a counter? Oh, no, it's not. He is swooping
He can
around.
counter and there is no Sunkens.
Alright, this is a dangerous moment for Zerg. If Terran can get those Marines right there back with the first group, that will be a huge bio ball.
Yeah, I have to say Soulkey, like so far his Muta Micro is not really doing too much.
Yeah, when there was only 1 turret at the racks, I actually thought he was going to try and just jump on that turret and force the Marines to make a decision, either counterattack or come back and defend their base. But he's content with just trying to pick off Marines every now and then. He gets 2 more. That's great.
Yeah, it is. I'm curious if behind this is already like making Queeness and Hydra Den to go far in tech. He's making more Serlings and Mutas.
Yeah, this is a ton of Mutas and Lings. He did split
He's
off.
losing so many Serlings for free, Nyoken. I'm actually like very worried here for Soulkey.
Yeah. The bio ball is getting bigger and bigger. He's about to be at 3 groups of units. He has about 8 Marines just sitting there at his rally point. We've got a random 2 Marines go to top right. He's stemmed in to try and pick off some drones, but he's not able to get any. Should get cleaned up in just a second. I think the Mutas and Lings can kill this army, since there's no 3rd group here.
And that's a bit too optimistic. I don't think he has like, enough units to deal with that ball.
This is a lot of Mutas. There's Lings on both sides. Okay, he is going to back off. I think if Soulkey's going to go, he's got to go right now. This is very isolated Marines, and we do have him jumping on the army right before this third group of Marines get in there. And this army gets absolutely crushed. The medics are out of position too, so that army gets killed.
Wow, he actually cleaned all of that. Did actually the upgrade from the Mutalista like kick in?
I think +1 weapon must have kicked in. He was way confident that he was going to win that fight, and he was right. He overwhelmed that army easily. We do have Hive coming in. Third base is up and running with decent saturation now. Ooh, 6 racks?
How many starports? 2 starports?
Yeah, double starport, 6 racks. So this is going to be big time pressure in Soulkey's face for a lot of this game.
The good about Soulkey right now is that he's controlling this high ground with Muta and Zerling. So JYJ need to think twice about like moving up, and look at this.
Yeah, whenever I lose my army like this, I get very nervous about getting a lurker contained, but I don't see any lurkers out just yet from Soulkey.
More barracks?
Yeah, he's got 6 racks, man. He's gonna really put on a lot of pressure. This is so many lings, though. Do you think he needs this many lings?
I don't see that many lurkers, so probably yes.
Yeah, I still haven't seen any lurkers. I saw, what, 5 hydras, but they haven't morphed yet. Oh, but another big engagement. But these Marines have 1-1. They are much stronger than they were before.
Yeah, and look at the... Oh my god, the hydras are like very, very far. At least he's morphing lurkers at the natural, so he's not going to die. But that move, if Soulkey actually did very well in the last engage, now actually he's lose many mutas, and that could backfire Nyoken because he needs mutas to defend the dropships.
Yep, I was just about to mention the dropships. I would really like to see JYJ mix in 2 dropships after he gets his 4 vessels, because if we look at top right, there is no defense up there. No Sunkens, no Lurkers, no Lings, no Scourge, no nothing. It is very susceptible to drops, but I don't think we have any dropships out just yet. Lurkers are scrambling to get up to top right to get on that ramp.
And JYJ is so good. He's like putting all this pressure, and at the same time he's spending. Like, yeah, like he's not really like going to be like all in like rushed and did almost against Hero. Like, there is more to this plan, so this is what makes JYJ so scary.
Yeah, actually I was expecting this to be one of those all-in type of plays from Terran where they sit on 2 base for a really long time, but like you said, this is...
Wait a minute.
Huh?
Where are the lurkers in the national?
Those lurkers are those in range of the ramp? It looks like just barely. At the natural, I think there are a couple lurkers. Maybe not, though. Okay, we still have non-stop vessel production from JYJ so far. Remember last season, his vessel production was so crazy. Even when he would lose vessels, it seemed like he had endless just at his rally point.
Man, it's a shame we don't have like a unit loser count here, because I'm really curious how many certainly Soulkey like has lost so far.
Yeah, he's definitely lost a lot, and these vessels do catch the mutas. There's 1 irradiate, and these are damaged, heavily damaged mutas, but only 1 of them die. Oh, never mind. Goodbye, mutas.
At least 1 survived, you know, the one for the plague vessels.
Yeah, that's an important aspect to keep in mind. If we
3 starports?
Oh, 3 starports, yeah, and we do have the battlecruiser add-on coming in, so we're not just gonna have pure vessel man like we saw in the Hero Rush game yesterday.
By the way, I have to say Soulkey Eco is looking really good, by the way. Like, unit-wise, probably not the best, but like Eco-wise, it's looking really in shape.
Yeah, his eco is pretty good. Yeah, that was a good split there from JYJ to make sure he doesn't lose anything. But the vessel count, dude, it's still just already out of control. It's at 6. All I hear are irradiates going off non-stop. If we look at bottom right, JYJ has cut off, you know, any potential counterattacks. He's just got a huge army sitting there. However, Soulkey still thinks he has enough to hold this 4th base. He's about to build a hatchery there. There's nothing in that Dark Swarm.
This guy is a maniac, man. He's making like 8 barracks already.
Yeah, I just don't know how JYJ has so much money to support the 6 racks while also getting a command center, while also building another command center and just non-stop vessels. Plus, as you mentioned, this is triple starport. He's got the battlecruiser add-on, so BC should be coming pretty soon.
Yeah. Yeah, and Soulkey, he's trying to be effective with this Defiler play, but he really need to. Oh my god, there is no defense here? Oh, there is lurkers, okay. Oh my god, I was so afraid for that.
I love how JYJ has split off a good portion of his army to just patrol back and forth. And so that means that Soulkey really never knows where the real army is, because all he can see is that he's getting contained from about 6 to 8 Marines on both sides. The vessels come in for some more irradiates. This is just so much free damage for him. He gets another 4 lurkers.
JYJ now securing top left. That's so many bases as a Terran player. Like, it's almost like enough bases to play like a 40 minutes game already.
Oh, we may actually have Hydra Lurker Defiler because those Hydras have speed. Oh, picks off the Defiler. Now, last season, I would have told you that JYJ's in trouble because Hydra Lurker Defiler is so hard to play against when you just have Marine Medic Vessel. But last season, he just always did so well with his vessels. I'm not sure if this style will actually work versus JYJ.
But Soulkey got his 4 gas. His eco is really good. And if he actually start abusing play and gains map control, like, I can see him like actually like coming back in this game. But the situation is really bad right now.
Yeah, this is definitely a comp that can trade very well. But for me, the problem is the vessel count is so massive. Also, this particular map, BCs are so hard to deal with because they don't really have to kill anything other than the extractor, which is exactly what he's doing.
The dropship, the drones.
Yeah, and there's an attack at the same time at the top right side. Soulkey is getting picked apart here. He's going to lose a lot of Hydras. Oh my gosh, he's stimming in. Oh, there's no Defiler! Where'd the Defiler go? It probably went down the bottom right to help out. JYJ busting through. But the lurkers, there were so many of them not able to get through. But these Marines are heavily upgraded, 2-2 upgrades. However, an overwhelming amount of Lings and Hydras will maybe push it back.
There's so many units like everywhere from the. I mean, at some point I thought like the blue guy was the third player. There's so many units everywhere.
I know, dude. JYJ has so much stuff. He's basically permanently maxed, and he has 5 bases already. Look at what he's building at top left. I think top left are going to be factories, where he's just going to start spamming out 1 billion tanks. He's also got triple dropship now to help support those BCs.
I don't think Soulkey has like defense to defend 3 dropships.
I don't think so either. The vessel count actually has been whittled down considerably. What's this, just 3 right now? But if he can go for a doom drop at top right, I think that's the game-winning move for JYJ. And look at this, we've got BCs at top right also. So there's just so many places that JYJ is hitting from. However, Soulkey said, enough is enough. I'm going to be the one on the counterattack, and he's going to go and shut down this mineral-only base.
Yeah, but what? Look at the timing of this. Like, doing this, there are 3 dropships now coming to his main. And if he loses all the tech, I'm not really sure, like...
Got rid of the lurker. That means there's nothing to really stop this Marine Medic Ball. And there's the drop, like you said. And he's getting right on top of the Nidus. If he snipes that, there's no way to transfer the Defilers. And he's attacking top right at the same time with the battle cruisers.
Oh my god. It's a lot of units, man, but top right is defending the drop at least.
Yeah, he's defending the drop, but everything got broken wide open at top right. That means he's going to instantly pounce on that. There's only a single lurker goodbye. The Hydras are bottled up on the ramp, so the surface area is not great. Defiler's coming down to try and save the day, but there's a Firebat mixed in there, so those Hydras are all going to die. Firebat's immortal under the Dark Swarm.
Wow.
Dude, this
What a
macro.
beat, man.
This macro is insane from JYJ. And his multitask is crazy. He's everywhere.
Yeah, it's too much. He's like Soulkey's overwhelmed right now. I don't know like how he can come back anymore. There's so many bases from Terran, 3 Starcraft production. Units don't stop coming from the Terran base as well. And GG, man.
Oh my god, JYJ, he is beast mode, man. Like, Soulkey even had a good opener. You know, he got the full read on what the build order was. He crushed the army in the center of the map. He got his 3rd base up really quickly. He got his 4th base up at a decent time. And JYJ said, you know what? None of that matters, man, because I can equal your macro and multitask.
Yeah. That was a nice beat by JYJ. I honestly he played that like so macro like perfect. Like it's crazy how he was able to build that many barracks early on and making the expansion at the same time, and then like putting pressure outside in the map as well. And you know, I feel like if Soulkey actually didn't make this attack, he could probably defend these multi attacks from JYJ better.
Yeah, because this is about the time where the Zerg 4 base power spike starts kicking in, the 17-18 minute mark. I do want to point out one thing, though, is there's no Ultralisk in this army. It's just Hydra Lurker, which is strong, but, you know, I was expecting to see some type of really tanky unit at some point, and it just never happened.
And the BCs are doing work.
Yeah. How do you afford...
I mean, BCs in the group of 3, that is annoying.
Yeah, that's a lot of damage, and they are so strong. Like, you can't just build 8 Scourge and go kill these battlecruisers. Like, the battlecruisers will kill every single Scourge before they even connect. I just... How do you afford all this stuff? He's built 5 or 6 BCs at this point, while having 5 bases. He's got factory at top left. He's got, I don't even know how many barracks in his main, maybe like 8. He just has so much.
Yeah. It's a lot of power.
Why do my Terran versus Zergs never look like that? Why can't I have that much stuff? Well, I think it's probably...
Did you see the minerals, Nyoken? Like, that guy was on 5 bases.
I
and
know.
the minerals were like maximum like 1k.
Yeah, he was just balling out of control. Trying to understand. Does that say an overlord? Yeah, overlord. Yum. Okay. They're trolling with that sign. But anyways, we're going to go into the Hot 6 commercial before our break. But after seeing these 2 games, Eonzerg, JYJ just looks like he is on fire today. Is there anything you think Soulkey can do to recover?
Maybe a 4-pool?
A 4-pool. Okay.
No, jokes aside, the next map... do you remember this was like JYJ map? The next map, if I'm not mistaken, is La Campanella?
I think it's Invader, actually.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, La Campanella is last, and then I think it's Invader, and Retro is 4th. So yeah, it's Invader.
Okay, yeah, next map, probably try to play a bit more aggressive with Mutas. Try to lose less Zerglings, because I feel like the amount of links like Soulkey lose in that game, it just like it's too much. Like it's just not good. Remember that each time you lose these Zerglings, they could have been like drones or different things, you know, that you are wasting just for free to the Marine attack range. So I don't know. There are many things actually that Soulkey need to adjust. Like Muta Micro wasn't working that well. Like yes, he actually made a good engage with the first big attack that JYJ tried. But apart from that, early on he was losing like few mutas and really not getting anything. So yeah, better Muta Micro, better link control, keeping them more safe. I mean, Invader, I would probably just like try to be more aggressive with my mutas and try to get some damage done and control the map that way. That would be my choice.
Yeah, I forgot that aspect in our previous game, where even though Soulkey killed the army, you're right, he never harassed the SCV line. And that's how Terran could afford those 6 barracks, is because they didn't lose any SCVs at any point. So I agree with that sentiment that you got to get in there, you got to get some SCV kills. But you know what, Eonzerg? With it being a two-player map, with it being a map that is wallable, I think the possibility of the one base play is very high for JYJ. I think we may see it this time around on Invader.
It's also possible because there is the double ramp in that national, so maybe he wants to avoid over defending that national and just like going straight up to tech. It's very possible. Like with JYJ, to be honest, like he has so many builds and they are like so effective. It's not just trying for trying, so you never know. The guy is a knife.
Yeah, he is very strong and has all the builds, and I still just can't get over the macro. It was absolutely crazy how strong it was. And what makes it good for JYJ not is, of course, being up 2-0. He can afford to go for a crazy build like this. Like, he can afford to lose one game and it's still fine because game 4, it's still going to be his map picks.
Indeed. But you know what? I don't think that the map matters too much. I feel like retro is very balanced and we can actually like see Soulkey winning that.
Yeah.
So I'm not really worried about that one.
Well, into the rain, holding that hot 6 for quite a long time. Surprised he hasn't popped that thing open and just chugged it down real quick.
Yeah. They're going crazy with this like hot six commercial this season. With that new flavor. I asked myself because I see it like red and fire. Do you think that that's spicy?
uh, maybe. I'm not sure. I actually don't drink energy drinks that much. I've only had a couple and they all tasted pretty similar, honestly. A spicy drink, do those even exist?
I mean, it has to be. It's Korea, man. Everything in Korea is spicy.
That is true. So they have, oh, they're doing the hot 6. So in Korea they have this flavor called buldak, which means like fire flavor. Oh man. When Koreans say something is spicy, you can be assured that they are legitimately saying that it's spicy because that thing was way too hot for me. I could not eat it.
I mean, the first time I went to a Korean restaurant, I asked for like food not spicy at all.
Yeah.
It was super spicy.
Yeah, that is true. It is surprisingly hot. Even the flavors that aren't that spicy are very hot. We had Steve Jung in the chat. He's hanging out with us, watching some ASL action, getting that potato pizza. In Korea, they have some interesting pizza flavors. They like corn on their pizza. They've got potato pizza. I gotta say,
The first time I saw a potato pizza was in Korea. I was shocked to see that. I was not able to believe my eyes.
it's actually really good. I think that's actually my favorite pizza flavor. If you guys have seen potato pizza but not tried it, highly recommend it. It kind of tastes like a loaded baked. It kind of tastes like loaded baked potato,
Nyoken
I
don't
guess.
put potatoes in pizza,
It's
bro.
good,
Like
dude. Just
that is sacrilege, Nyoken.
don't tell your Italian friends if they think pineapple is illegal on pizza, they're gonna really think potatoes on pizza are illegal.
Yeah, it's crazy like someone puts potato in pizza. That is a blasphemy, Nyoken.
Well, actually, somebody's in the chat saying potato pizza is an Italian pizza and is super normal. I didn't know that.
That is crazy.
Uh, Pastor Park must have heard us talking about potato pizza. That's what he's cracking up about right now.
You're funny.
uh, well, I think we're going into a break, and then we'll be back with potentially the last game of the season of the series. We are back, and we're about to be going into Game 3. Looks like we've got the Ask ASL feature first, but Zerg fans out there, you gotta channel your energy for Soulkey because JYJ, he is bringing it today, and so far, there has been no answer from Soulkey. Again, it looks like they've added music to the interview, so I can't actually unmute here. Again, they're promoting their Tumblr and the Ask ASL feature, I'm sure. If you got a question for the players, you can ask it on the ASL website. And fans actually...
Wow, 63% to Soulkey? Holy.
Yeah, fans really do think Soulkey is the favorite here, but it's hard for me to go against JYJ because he's just been so killer in TVZ, not just this season, but also last season, that I thought for sure it would be closer than that.
It seems to me like JYJ is just not popular enough compared to his skills. Sometimes that's the case with many players. They just don't have the... For some reason, they are like extremely good, extremely skilled. But people just like, they don't really get into the personality.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they just like, I don't know why is that? Like, if you're like so good at something, like, in some ways, like, you don't like that.
Yeah. I don't know the exact reason, but I can agree with that sentiment because, as you mentioned earlier, like it's not like I even see JYJ streaming that much, or if I do, he's definitely not getting the numbers that Soulkey's getting. Soulkey's always streaming, always playing Pro League. You always get to see his current shape. But we're ready for Game 3. This could be it, guys. JYJ looking to close it out. So, in the top left, Eonzerg, it is Soulkey, and in the bottom right, our orange Terran, it is JYJ. Uh-oh. This a 6 racks?
Yeah, that's actually what I was going to say. If I was JYJ, I will try just to do like some proxy barrack.
Okay, well, he obviously knows where Zerg is, and this is going to be a very, very far forward proxy racks. JYJ is saying, I don't want to get to mid game, I don't want to get to late game. I want to end this right now.
On top of that, didn't you say that you could wall on this map as well?
Wait, what? Yeah, you can wall both positions. I actually think top left. Okay, well, Zerg fans, you've got a breath of life here because it's pool first from Soulkey. And you know what's not great versus pool first? Barracks all the way across the map.
That is true. Yeah, there is actually no way to defend these Zerglings if they do a counter attack. But what if he just like save time, you know, like making the Zerglings like busy and like gets the factory up. Wait, I don't even see the refinery, so...
Yeah, I don't... I actually think the only way that JYJ can win this game is if he does not show the Marines for a long time. He accepts his fate that he's going to get counterattacked, then SCV drills to the other main and tries and just wins the game like with a bunker ranging the hat tree or something. Like, he can't defend his main. That's just not going to happen. And he can't attack with 1 Marine or 2 Marines. He's going to have to accept that he's going to have to wait for the Lynx to get across the map before making a move.
Instantly sending the Marine back to the main, Nyoken.
Wow, yeah. Okay. Can it get there?
Probably going to make a bunker as well.
No, he's not going to send it back. I didn't think he could send it back. Well, I can tell you this. He's got to keep that SCV alive so he can drill on something.
I mean, Soulkey actually started to make drones, and somehow like JYJ did. Oh
What?
no way! How do
Oh
you
my
know?
gosh. Well, all the Lings turn around. This. Okay, it couldn't have gone worse now. He's going to lose all of his Marines. That was a good focus fire. He does knock down 3 out of 6 Lings. It does buy JYJ time, though. It's not, it's not 6 Lings anymore. He could potentially. What? Okay, he is going to bunker rush to the natural, but there's nothing. There's no SCV building continuing to build there.
So,
It's a weird
what
game.
are the options here for JYJ now?
I don't really think there are much options because these Lings can just run around forever. I think we're just going to see some GG pretty soon. That is nuts control right there. The fact that he did not lose his Marines. Yeah, this factory may complete, but by the time it completes and gets across the map, Zerg is going to have speed on their Lings. The hatchery is going to be set up.
Nice link control.
Yeah, it's really good. This is really good, and this was just a complete counterplay from Soulkey. Yeah, when this happens...
Oh, Nyoken. Now behind this, probably a Hydra then, right?
Well, I hope so. Like, I hope he doesn't just run in Vultures and wins the game. I guess it could be Spire, too. Like, I don't see a Hydra in his main. It's been a while since we've got a look there. Yeah, Lair's, I would say, probably half done by now. We're going to go into Starport, but there's just no econ for JYJ. He has been crushed, really, in terms of his SCV count. Oh no, it doesn't even get in. He just taps out instantly. Well done from Soulkey. He catches JYJ being a little bit too aggressive there, and will finally put a point on the board for Team Zerg.
This is actually how you come back in a series.
Yeah. That is true. I was not expecting that. Okay, if he's going to 8 racks or something, I would have at least expected it closer to his main, but he had other ideas. I don't even know really the logic for putting it right there. Like, it was so far deep in the third base, he would have to spend a lot of time running towards the ramp, then down into the left. Like, if he had put it right above the ramp, okay, sure, that makes sense because the rush distance is going to be a little bit closer, but I actually, for a moment, thought he was going to float into the main, as crazy as that sounded. It was just in such a weird position.
Man, what is crazy to me is that Soulkey sent not Serling to that
Yeah,
specific spot. I don't know, like, that was magic.
yeah, maybe it
Soulkey
was the
number one.
timing of... Oh, yeah, and it's also another Peru fan. Maybe it was the timing of the SCV scouting, with the game timer being added to the game, people are aware, like, oh, this SCV came in at 1 minute, or it came in at 1 minute 30, or whatever the number is, and he may have said, like, that's a weird timing for this map. I don't know, but he read it perfectly somehow.
Yeah, it was an amazing read. He did something similar against Zack as well on Tempest.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I do remember. I don't think it was Sack. It was C, right, where he scouted the
Oh yeah,
the
see,
hidden
sorry,
racks.
sorry, see,
Yeah,
see, yeah.
I do remember that. Yeah, I tried to ask Scan why Soulkey scouted that way, but he didn't have an answer. But wow, I'm surprised we're going into a break, and we'll be back with Game 4. And we are back, and we are going to be getting into our fourth map, which is going to be retro. This is the map I was waiting to see. Can we have the revenge for Soulkey here? Can he strike back and bring it to 2-2?
Man, I have to say it's the first time I see that many foreigners in the ASL. Like I usually like when I was in Korea, there were like many in the GSL, like StarCraft 2. StarCraft 2 is actually so popular with foreigners, but in the ASL, it's actually refreshing to see that many foreigners.
Yeah, it is nice to see so many making it out to Korea. Get a glimpse of these two bosses duel it out in the round of 8. And the foreigners have been coming from all over the place. We saw what was it last week? Some Polish fans showing up. This time around, we've got the Peru fans. Tons of people coming from all over the world.
Yeah. It's a global esport, Nyoken.
Indeed. Indeed. And we are ready for game 4. Let's see if Soulkey can bring it back to a tied series. Okay, in the bottom right, it is Soulkey. And in the top left, we have Mr. JYJ.
Yeah, man, retro. Match point here for JYJ. You know, the positions to me are not that great for like starport play,
Yep.
but you never know.
Yep, you never know with this guy. He pulls out all different types of builds. We do have him spawning at top left just like he did last season. And so far we have not seen any SCV move out at all.
By the way, do you think Soulkey has in his mind the game from the last season?
Probably, I would, especially since this guy has 8 racks and followed up with 1-1-1 in 2 games now. I would really think that race would be highly likely in this game.
Yeah, Soulkey is actually like mentally strong. Like you don't come back from a 0-3 in the GSL and win the championship. Like if you are not like super strong like mentally.
Yeah,
that is for sure.
Indeed, and we do have kind of a forward racks, but it's not at the wall. So there is a chance that it's not going to be the 1-1-1 or the gas follow-up, I mean. We do have 12 hatch opener from Soulkey this time around, or actually 11 hatch, and then it will be the 10 pool.
Okay. Hey, 11 hatchery.
Yep, and gas timing for Soulkey. We don't see that 2-minute gas from him. We don't see any drone movement towards the gas either, so this could be finally a 3-hatch game.
Yeah, can be 3 hatcheries, can be weird 2.5 hatchery optimization, but you're right. It's actually 3 hatcheries opening here.
Yep, and look at this. At JYJ again, we've got a cross scout with his SCV. Actually, he was sort of double scouting with another SCV, but he intercepts the drone and now sends it back. And there is the 3rd base for Soulkey, but it is at a close by base as opposed to another main.
Yeah, we're probably going to see. Oh, he's gonna lose this drone.
Oh no. Every drone's so important, especially in the early game. That's a nice pick-off for JYJ.
We're probably going to see Nyoken some kind of like mute us into Hydro Lurker transition.
You think so?
Yeah, with close bases, like, I mean, what else? I really doubt he's going to ultras on these close bases.
Yeah, especially since there's double ramps. If it was Eclipse, I could see that. But wow, the SCV already finds the base, and I'm sure he has the same read as you have. We've got the +1 coming in for JYJ again. Pretty fast academy too.
Many settings from Soulkey here, just to prevent any sneaky move from Terran, like sending 3-4 Marines to the National, killing drones. But you know, Nyoken, this spawns, like actually 5 barracks is I mean 5 barracks is like very possible.
Oh yeah, 5 racks is extremely possible and extremely strong versus 3 hatch openers. I think that's actually the ideal play for Terran, really. These 6-lings were acting like they were going to make a move, but they end up backing off. Oh, well, now he's going to come in again. There's only 4 Marines. But I think
it's only 4 Marines.
Yeah, but okay. Actually, the SCV or the Lings got deeper than I thought they were actually going to get. We do have SCV trying to go for a secondary scout to confirm how many Lings are actually being built.
Yeah, good move. You don't really want to lose against like 20 Zerglings all of a sudden.
Well, this was a ballsy build order from JYJ, actually. If this was more Lings, he doesn't have a bunker. He ended up building a fast medic, which means he has even less Marines. He would have been in trouble to a bust, but he doesn't get punished, at least not just yet.
Yeah, Soulkey, so far I don't see him making any sunken, so he's not really like trusting this attack.
Well, it is 5 Marines and just 1 fire bat, so it's not surprising that he's not fully convinced that this is a intended attack. We do have 3 racks for JYJ right now.
Yeah, this is the pro gamer knowledge, man. If it was a normal Zerg, we'd be like making 3 sunkens per national right now.
Yeah, exactly. He's only building 1 because he knows that the medic move out should be coming pretty soon, and there we go.
Oh, but he can actually do a run by with Zerglings if JYJ is not careful.
Yeah, we saw that yesterday with Hero a few times going for the run by and did a decent amount of damage both times he did it. 5th racks coming in, so you're right, this is going to be a 5 racks play. Look at JYJ leaving that single fire bat behind.
Lose 2 Zerglings already, Soulkey, or 3 Zerglings, I'm not really sure.
Oh, that fire bat's pretty far forward. Oh man, does not get there in time to get healed up by the medics. SCVs, one of them falls. Can he get any more damage? He gets 1 more Marine, he gets 1 more SCV. Overall, he gets 2 SCVs or 3 SCVs and 1 Marine for 8 Lings. I would say that's okay.
It's tricky to say. That was a lot of Zerglings.
Yeah, that was a decent amount of Zerglings, but it disrupted also the turret timing. Look at this. Mutas may actually get there before the turret's complete. Well, we were talking about on the Polypoid game what Soulkey needed to do. He needed to get some more SCV kills, so he's already up to, or off to a decent start. And there's the Hydrogen. It is way faster in comparison to the Polypoid game. Oh man.
Yeah, he's on three bases, so there is so much he can afford right now, like going mass mutas and at the same time like going lurker tech. That was like the kind of play I was expecting from Zero against JYJ. Was it JYJ? No, against Ample on Retro.
By the way, I don't think there's really any turrets at the barracks. Like, yes, I see that we have 2 right there, but the left side completely exposed. Of course, if you...
It's 5 barracks, like two macrocyclists, 10 Marines already.
Well, I'm just saying that if the mutas were over there, they may be able to deal a decent amount of damage. But at the same time, if your mutas are there, well, they're obviously not helping with the sunkens. So Terran could just go for a big counterplay.
By the way, Soulkey... Oh yeah, he made a lot of sunken, so he's fine. He need to respect this, like you need to respect 5 barracks. It's a lot of power.
Oh yeah, it's a huge amount of power. There is just so many Marines coming across the map right now. The medic count... Okay, it's at 5 actually, it's not as bad as I thought. Factory is at a decent time also, he's going to be scaling into his vessels pretty soon.
Second group of Marines joining this army. Soulkey... So far he's been conservative with the muta play. Um, by the way, do you think this army is enough to take 4 Sunkens?
I don't think so. I think the Mutas should have +1 done pretty soon. And he's always going to get pickoffs like this, right? Where he's whittling down the Marine count.
Oh.
I don't know, actually. That's a lot of Marines. That's a ton of Marines. And with 5 medics, that's a lot of healing, too. Well, now with the
Yeah, but
lurker,
lurkers are out.
yeah, now with the lurker, there's no chance of this working.
But you know what? I feel like the natural is exposed. Oh no, never mind. Not anymore.
Well, you know, there. It doesn't look like that much defense here, but the Sunkens are at a good angle that I think that 3 Sunkens plus the Mutas can clear this up, because the Marines are just going to get choked up on the ramp. They're not going to have good area to get into that third base and bust it.
Solid defense by Soulkey, but make no mistake, because JYJ actually transitioning already to 2 starports. And usually when Zerg plays like this, there is a chance to see like max draw chips into play.
Yep, that is very true. Muta's gonna come in, not do much damage just yet. Isolated SCVs, goodbye 2 of them. And now we're at this point in the game where Terran really can't do much, so he's just gonna start powering up, start getting a huge death ball of Marine Medic while also building up his vessel count. May even see a 3rd command center come down pretty soon.
Yeah, even with the vessels, I don't think he's going to do too much. Maybe he can irradiate the mutas or irradiate some lurkers. But there is already not too much pressure to put right now with this position from Soulkey. What he can really do is deny the 4th expansion.
Yeah, and actually it is straight dropship. This is probably going to be a quadruple drop play to the main. In Soulkey's base, I think he ended up building an Ultralisk Cavern. Well, there's 2 dropships. I don't think 2 dropships is enough. I think if you're going to go for this move, it needed to be 4, but we'll see if he can make something happen.
There is enough mutas, I believe,
Yeah.
to deal with the dropships as well.
Yeah, there's 4 lurkers, there's like 8 or 9 mutas, and then of course there's Scourge just waiting for their moment. You can hear the scans go off.
I mean, he probably knows, because it's probably rare that he doesn't see any vessel yet, not irradiate, nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, Vessel should have been out, at least irradiating the first couple lurkers. And the mutas are going to go over to the right side, and they will see these drops. Well, maybe he didn't see them, but he heard them, and instantly moves those Scourge in position. Greater Spire, okay.
Yeah, but I'm afraid that he wants to do too much with the gas he has to deal with. Like, it's only 3 gases after all, and there is not even like a big possibility to spend right now and take a 4 base. Like, the map control for JYJ is just too high.
Yeah, JYJ's got his 3rd base up and running now, and it was actually not an Ultralisk Cavern, it was an Evolution Chamber, so no Ultras coming anytime soon. Curious what the Greater Spire is for, because Terran already has vessels, they've already got a huge Rax count. I can't imagine it being for Guardian Hydra.
I mean,
Defiler,
if
right?
we're making it the spy for the hours, I mean, that would be insane.
I wonder what he's intending to use it. I mean, he's got 8 mutas left over. Like, he can make a lot of Guardians if he wants to. I'm just not seeing...
We have fake as well to force him to make base.
I guess it could be. I don't know. It did trigger instant add-on onto his factory, and he built a 2nd factory. I guess he must think it's some type of Hydra. Well, there's definitely going to be some type of usage of the Hydras, whether it's with Guardians or whatnot, because he is going for the double tank or double factory tanks. He's still got out a lot of vessels. I still notice that the mutas have not morphed in the Guardians anywhere. That's a good play. He hits all 3 of the vessels.
Well, but he already did the counter attack that Soulkey was trying to do.
Okay, he's got Guardians just sitting at his natural. Like, are these just going to be defensive Guardians? This is an expensive use of your gas for it to just be defensive.
Yeah, and JYJ is on 3 bases, by the way, so it's 3 bases against 3 bases. So Terran is winning right now the resource battle.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, it is going to be Hydra, Lurker, Guardian, Darkstorm. But the vessels, they're all alive, and all these Guardians just going to get blown up instantly. However, he was not paying attention to those Lurkers, and the Marines take a lot of damage. Remember, 3 of those vessels are plagued, so they can get taken down pretty quickly.
Yeah, the good thing is like he used irradiate on these guardians, so now the lurkers and the defilers they can advance.
Yeah,
But if it's counter drop, I'm not sure if Soulkey is prepared for this.
Yeah, but all he needs to do is get that Defiler, and he'll be okay still. Wow, he almost gets one of them. And I was about to say, he needs to do something with the army on the right side that he has. He loaded up the drops, and now he's going to try and go for a drop while this is happening. There's a good plague. There's still 7 vessels here, though, but he's got to get the Defiler.
The drop ships. He's not defending. That's 2 drop ships. Oh my god.
Okay, this game's about to get crazy. He's about to have Hydra Lurker Defiler on top of the factories with Guardians, but we've got a drop in the main. What? He moved commanded? Oh, he just ran over Lurkers, I think. Wow, there's action all over the place. Those vessels dangerously low. Marines are taking out the Lurkers in the back, but he's lost almost all of his vessels now. There's 4 or 5 Guardians remaining. There's still a decent amount of Hydras. I don't see Defiler anywhere. There's still even a single Lurker dealing a lot of damage. I imagine that must be for race now. Oh my gosh, that's so many Hydras.
It's still not a 4 base for Soulkey, by the way. So this is like pretty much all in here. Like he needs to win with this.
I think he's going to win because the Marine ball is pretty small. There's no medics either, so these Marines are gonna get eaten up. Does have to be careful with the Defilers though, because those Defilers, they don't have energy right now. Definitely needs to get consumed for them. Oh, I think he's done it. Look how little JYJ has.
Yeah, the tier base from JYJ is also isolated now by this attack. So Soulkey can like either go to the main or attack the tier base.
Well, every Terran knows once this moment happens, Lurker Hydra at your rally point, that's pretty much doomsday scenario for you. And we're going to see GG in just a second, and JYJ, he taps out, and we've got a series on our hand, Eonzerg.
That was a beautiful display by Soulkey, man. That was honestly, that was. I was really doubting the Guardian play. Like, what can this really accomplish against that many vessels? But that counter attack just worked like perfectly for Soulkey. And on top of that, JYJ tried the 2 drop chips counter attack, and one of them was picked by Scourge in the end. So it was only 1 drop chip to defend.
Okay, so that's how the Hydras cleaned it up so easily. But yeah, I was also thinking that the Guardians were going to be a little bit too late. But Guardians are surprisingly strong. Like, they're really tanky. Everybody knows that. But they also have massive range. Like, they just shoot from a mile away. So well done from Soulkey. Actually strikes back on Retro. And that means we're going to get a La Campanella game.
Yeah, I'm not really sure who I'm going to favor in that map.
Wow, the Guardians don't even have upgrades at all. Like, no weapon upgrade, no armor upgrade. If you get armor upgrade, Guardians are... they're just really tanky.
Don't they have, like, +1 attack by default? Or that doesn't translate to Guardians?
+1 translate, but they didn't get any upgrades this game.
Oh, Soulkey didn't get any mutant upgrade.
Yeah,
okay.
He just didn't get any. That plague was amazing, by the way. He basically hit the entire army. Yeah, let's see. The drop behind the mineral, I actually thought this was going to be game-changing. But like you said, he branched off that 1 drop right there. And it doesn't unload at all. And this moment right here, where everything stemmed in and move commanded to their death, not that I think it would have changed the game. I think the result would have been the same, but it obviously didn't help at all.
Yeah, really good play. But you know what? That was risky as well, because he's in only 3 bases. Like, actually, Terran has more bases than Zed right now.
Yeah, Terran had their 4th base at mid-left, but hit him before all the big key units could come in. It was 7 vessels, but I think only 5 of them actually had energy, and 3 of them were plagued. So really, they were very fragile. So well done from Soulkey. Brings us to game 5. It was really looking dire after the first 2 games, but now with an even score, momentum is definitely in his favor.
The first time I see a Korean like eating when playing the ASL.
Oh, that's true. So we're going to be going
I
into...
mean, the pro gamer.
Yeah. So we're going to be going into a break, and then we'll be back with the final game of the day. This is it. It's game 5. Soulkey versus JYJ. JYJ started the series up 2-0. Soulkey said, I'm not out yet, man. And he comes back with 2 wins in a row. And now we're getting into match point for both players. La Campanella. We wanted to see it, and we're finally going to get a TVZ on here. In both days, we got TVZs on this map.
Yeah, I'm really curious what the strategy Soulkey is going to bring here, and if he has like something prepared. Uh, because from all the games I have seen, like Campana seems to be like a bit hard to play against Terra.
Yeah, I wonder what style both players are gonna be pulling out. Soulkey's brought out multiple different styles. The Hydra Guardian in the last game. I think JYJ could maybe pull out Wraith play here. I think if you go Wraith play on this map, you avoid the 3-base, the instant 3-bases for Zerg. It gets into an awkward state. But maybe that's too obvious. Maybe it's too obvious to pull out the Wraith play in game 5, and maybe he'll switch it up.
Oh, why do you think that's obvious?
Well, because he hasn't gone Wraith the entire series, and last season he played Wraith to perfection in multiple series. Like
Yeah,
also in round of 16, he also pulled out Wraith, I think, and we haven't seen a single Wraith this entire series.
I don't think like do you actually expect like grace from Terran?
Well, you don't, but JYJ just plays it so well the past few seasons. I feel like at some point,
unless you're playing Lita, of course.
Well, of course, if you're playing Leda, you open 2 hatch no lair Hydra every game. You just blind counter it. I mean, maybe you're right. Maybe we won't see it, but this is it, guys. Final game of the day. Who's going to be moving on into the round of 4? Okay, in the top left, our Zerg, it is Soulkey. And in the bottom right, our champ, it is JYJ.
Yeah, Nyoken, I don't know, man. Well, like, how strong is actually Airax on this map?
I don't know. I feel like this is quite the rush distance just in general to go for 8 racks. And we know that bottom right cannot be fully walled off. We saw that in the C versus Mong game where Vultures just ran by. So I don't know if you want to go for an 8 racks here, but it doesn't look like we're going to have 8 racks because JYJ, no SCD movement towards the natural at all.
No, looks like he's not even going to make a wall.
Okay, no wall. So far my Wraith prediction not looking too good. And I'm trying to... Oh, unfortunately, that says every single time it's gotten... Well, actually, I'm not sure, but those results say that Soulkey lost all those series that they're pointing out in the bottom right. Meanwhile...
Very possible. Last season he lost 2-3 to JYJ in the round of 8.
Yep. And we do have barracks at the entrance now, so I guess maybe he just didn't want to build his first depot there. If he's going to go gas, though, SCV needs to start moving towards that refinery right now, and it does! Eonzerg, this could be it!
Interesting, Nyoken. That would be crazy. He's actually going to a Star Force Grace, man.
We do have SCV moving out for the scout. Look at this, though. Soulkey building additional drones. And then
yeah.
Pool.
Actually, 12 hatchery, 12 pool, probably 12 gas.
Maybe. We've got another drone being built. Remember we saw, I think it was Action versus Light, where Action hit a 3rd base. Not going to be the case this time around. It is just going to be the 2.5 hatch timing of gas for Soulkey. And we do have the full wall off for JYJ. Is he going to continue to mine gas, though? The answer is no. He's actually pulled off of gas.
So, is this like a classic mech build?
Everything so far is looking like it's going to be 1-1-1.
The drone, by the way, I think is dead.
I think so too. Oh, it didn't fire. It did not fire.
Yeah, man. I'm glad that drone escaped, Nyoken. I'm not gonna be... I'm not going to lie to you.
Well, I think that this is a good mind game, again, from JYJ, because, as I stated, he hasn't pulled out Wraith the entire series. He's gone for a full wall. This really does look like it's going to be 2-port. But we know that this is just going to be an expansion behind it. And there's no way for Zerg to know. Like, the only way he can know is to get Lings in, but Vulture's going to be out.
Yeah, the Overlord will eventually like come to that national, and we'll see the expansion. So it's not really like in game one that Soulkey was like totally blind about JYJ choice. But at the same time, what is the follow up like? Starport, actually like classic mech. I'm really curious.
Oh my gosh, he blocked that drone for so long. Okay, the Ling. Okay, wow, that is critical right there. He does get in, and he sees that it's a command center, and he sees it from a mile away. So now, he's not going to overreact. He knows that there's no way that this could be Starport with a command center this fast. There, of course, could be a delayed Wraith, but everything so far is... Oh, no, he can't let him in. Okay, good defense right there. And it is actually the same build so far as the Tempest game. It's a really fast armory. We could have another biomech opener.
Yeah, it's very possible. It's very, very similar, like, to be honest. Like, armory timing, machine shop.
Yeah, the machine shop. I think he also got the machine... Okay, well, actually, that's a second factory, okay? Is this going to be the pure mech? It could still be biomech. That is definitely still a possibility.
It is, now I don't exactly remember, did JYJ actually scouted the Soulkey main?
I actually already forgot. I think he did. There was an SCV that was blocking the Sunken Colony for so long that I imagine he got in there and scouted.
Why he doesn't need that Sunken.
Well, I think he's worried that the hatchery would die. But yeah, he doesn't need it, he ends up canceling it. Now, JYJ needs to be careful, because his Vultures do not have speed, whereas the Lings are gonna have speed pretty soon. What? Okay,
oh!
that's a bit much. Like, look how far away that hatchery is from the gas, and the drone still went there. Now, he was not paying attention.
He's not paying attention. He lost all the 2 launchers. There's so many turns now coming to his base.
Yeah, he doesn't have any defense. Like, he wasn't building Marines at all. There's not that great... Well, actually, the SimCity is still going to be pretty good, but you got to remember, that gap on the right side, JYJ, you got to be careful.
Well, 2 Goliaths... Actually, they do well against Zerglings, funny enough.
Yeah, they do well, and they're pretty tanky, too. Like, I think they start with 1 armor, so it was still a dangerous moment, but he clogs the hole, and he's fine now. Is there an eBay? There's no turrets. Okay, there's the eBay.
Yeah, there is eBay. I was like, what the... Okay, he's going insane.
Well, the mutas are here already. I think the purpose of the fast add-on was to rush range for his Goliath. And he is going to see 6 Goliaths. Now, I wonder if he thinks, this is more than usual. But I don't think that was enough Goliaths to really tip him off to it being mech just yet.
By the way, Soulkey took the semi-island, and because JYJ is doing like mech here, he doesn't really have scans or anything to actually like deny the gas from that expansion.
Yeah, that's true. And something I just realized is with the floating eBay, it's unlikely for it to be biomech, because how else is Terran going to get +1 weapon on their Marines? The eBay's floating. So he should know that this is just a pure mech opener. And we really haven't seen this in a very long time. That's a big drone cycle, so Econ is going to be killer for Soulkey. And burrowed Lings, this could be devastating, but luckily for JYJ, there aren't that many mutas to support, so I don't think the Lings are going to unburrow just yet. He wants that hatch.
Yeah, but I'm not really sure this attack, man. He can't really deny any expansion or anything, so...
Yeah, and he doesn't have a comsat, so he can't scan it. He can just only, be aware that there are burrowed Lings there.
He's going straight to a Starport rush for that +2 attack, by the way.
Yeah. And he does need to be careful, because he knows there are mutas out on the map, and he knows the lings are right there. I don't know why he's standing right on top of them. If he gets surrounded by mutas and lings, they're going to have full surface area. I don't know. I don't know about this Eonzerg. This feels like an overstep, or like a build order disaster for JYJ. I say that simply because, you know, it's different when you're playing mech versus on another map where you can kill the third base. But this map,
Soulkey has to be regretting the hatchery, by the way. Nyoken is affecting his gas on the natural so bad.
Yeah, like why do those drones mine that way? Like, it's even farther than the main hatch. It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, that is messing his build-order. But it's a timing attack from JYJ with a.
I don't know.
With this +1 attack.
I don't know about this. There's a lot of mutas. Yes, he has +1 weapon, but we also know that there were lings out on the map, and we do have hydras coming out pretty soon. There's also, it's not that many factories. It was just 3 Fat Goliath. It's different if it was 5 Fat Goliath, where, you know, you've been producing non-stop for quite a long time.
By the way, I feel like, you know, against mechs, there need many bases actually. You don't really like keep you cool with only 3 bases. You need to actually go expand at some point. Actually, Soulkey is doing it now. No, never mind.
Yeah, he's gonna expand to mid left. Gonna get that base up and running. I guess if you can get out a couple tanks, you can shut down that top middle base. I forgot about that. I was thinking for some reason that the tanks would not be able to have vision and shoot down that hatch, but because he rushed the vessel so quickly, maybe he can. We'll see though. Okay, finally we have some hydras coming out.
This is a tricky situation here. I don't think Soulkey has enough mutas to deal with the Goliaths. And I don't think the ground army say they're going to be that strong to deal with the, you know, the Goliaths and tanks. Because like, the upgrade wise, like, JYJ is actually doing really good.
Yeah, and because he got his armory so fast, he's going to have +1 armor pretty soon. Also, on top of the +1 weapon. Mutas, these lings are worth their weight in gold. Like, every time the Goliaths move out, they know exactly where they are. And that allows the mutas to just come in and pick off some free units. Doesn't lose a single mutalist there. There's still no vessel. So I'm not sure what JYJ's game plan is, but he's got to get some gameplay going pretty soon, because that's a 4th base going up at mid left and also a 5th base going up at bottom left.
Ooh, what a sneaky move from Soulkey, sending hydras out, probably to do a possible counterattack, and queens already.
Yeah, queens are going to be very effective versus the tanks, but you need 2 minutes to build up that energy for broodlings. And I don't know if JYJ is going to give him 2 minutes to build up that energy, because the first 3 tanks are moving out. There's still no vessel. Finally, we have Comsat for vision, though.
In this refinery, so it's going to slow down the gas from JYJ.
Yep, big pick off right there. He is going to take a 3rd base.
By the way, I don't get the right count. It's only 4 factories or 5?
Yeah, it's only 4 factories. This is really not a lot of production. I'm getting worried that Soulkey's just going to have too much econ, and even though mech is obviously just amazing, right, in terms of trading, so are queens, and with massive econ to back it up, I feel like Soulkey is just going to overrun him at some point.
Yeah. Honestly, it's not that many queens, and JYJ is playing so passive. If actually he's able to connect, like Soulkey is able to connect bottom base with an Nidus canal, like what you say is like, actually it's going to be way too many bases and way too much production from the third player to deal with.
Well, we've got the mutas coming into the natural again. We're finally seeing some vultures get out onto the map so we can get some mines set up. Now this is a lot of damage. He knocks down quite a few SCVs. There's still no vessels at all. And we do have the +2 power spike though for Terran, but if he moves out now, a lot of these queens are going to have energy.
JYJ scanned that base, so he has a decision to take. Do I kill the base or go for the main?
I think his better option is to just try and go for the main, because if he can go for if he can at least get to the natural, right? Whether he gets into the main or not, he'll have vision to shut down top middle and potentially take down mid left. If he goes to bottom left, it really exposes him to a massive counterattack. So I don't know about going down there.
Very passive play from JYJ. He's really not moving at all from his base, just like building on Grace and trying to get some eco from that tier expansion now. I don't even know like what his future plan is going to be, because he can take his semi-island, by the way. With this Muta play, impossible.
Yeah, I'm surprised that the Mutas are still able to do damage 13-30 into the game. There's still no Vessel, there's no Irradiate. What's his answer gonna be to the Queens? I realize Goliath, they obviously shoot up, but Queens only need to get off one attack. Like, they're gonna get off their Broodlings before you can focus down the Queens with the Goliath target fire. That's more than enough Queens. You don't even need 10 Queens. All you need is enough Queens to one-shot all the tanks, which he clearly has now. He has something like 18 Queens. There's 3 tanks. Okay, there we go. There's about 8 tanks. But I don't think this is enough. Zerg is about to be max too.
I think JYJ didn't know about Queens. Now he knows.
Hey, well, those Queens died really quickly, but still, like I said, all JYJ or all Soulkey needs to do is to Broodling these tanks, and then it's going to be upgraded Hydras versus just Goliaths.
I mean, Nyoken, that is easier said than done. It's actually super hard to get these Queens on the tanks. You're talking like it's just like press A click.
It is harder, especially with the buildable terrain in the center of the map where the turrets can just randomly be sitting there and deal damage.
Look at this.
There's one, he gets one of them. He needs about 7 more of those. Now, I will say this, Soulkey, we're getting a bit excessive here with the Queens. Like, Queens are good, they one-shot, but like you said, it's not that easy to Broodling everything. And if you don't have any Hydras, I don't know how well this is actually going to work.
Okay, he actually Broodling a Goliath. I guess, good move, it's a trade.
And he really needs a Vessel, because there's a Broodling there giving him vision, and he's going to lose that Queen. I thought he was actually going to get a tank.
No, and he's not using the Mutas to deny the semi-island from JYJ either. And look at this, is massive, Nyoken.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sharon's about to hit +3 weapon also. Like, you gotta go. If you're gonna attack into this, you gotta go right now before it kicks in. Broodling comes down, ends up picking off 1 tank. The focus fire is really good. He's knocked down a lot of Queens already. Actually didn't kill any of the tanks really. And like I said, the +3 is about to kick in, and it just did. And this whole army gets crushed. Yeah, and JYJ is doing exactly what I said, is he needs to go to the rally point. He cannot go to the third base. There's too much production at top left to go down to bottom left. He needs to go set up outside of the rally point and try and knock down some of these bases.
There's still few Queens. I don't know about the energy, to be honest.
He built way too many Queens. Like, he has a lot of energy, but there's just really not that much support on the ground. These Hydras also are not as heavily upgraded as these tanks, but because there's no Vessel, he's still able to mine this top middle position. Now, I can tell you, I was not expecting Terran to take the center of the map.
He took the cross, man.
He took the cross, and that is a ton of tanks. Goodbye, Sunkens. Okay, we've got isolated tanks at the bottom, not that many Goliaths. 1 tank goes down. He's a lot more. Okay, there we go. He gets down 3 out of the 4 tanks. Supplies are still in favor of Soulkey. He's eliminated a lot of the tanks now. Oh, now Terran's starting to expand all over the place, taking top right at the same time. I think it already... No, it did not get spotted.
Looks like the Queens are now actually dealing the damage they are supposed to do. Cleaning all the siege tanks.
Yep, this is exactly what he needed. He needed to get rid of those tanks, and he has done so. Supplies have plummeted for both sides. JYJ did knock out mid-left, which is key for him, but Soulkey still has a ton of macro hatches. He still has top-middle up and running. He's still got all of bottom-left up and running.
Yeah, Soulkey actually denied the semi-island from JYJ with Mutas, So that's one less base for him.
Yeah, I'm looking at the gas for JYJ. For some reason, he's quite low on gas despite only having 6 factory. He's got his 3rd gas up and running. I think it's because he's not able to get his 4th gas at bottom middle like you were saying. But he's got that 5th command center completed at top right now. He has control of the center also. And with it being buildable terrain, all of a sudden Queens are not that great anymore.
Oh, those SCVs, they spoiled the base.
Yeah, they did. That's going to be a dead command center. He's just going to
Oh no! Oh, don't do it! Oh, don't do it! Don't do it! Don't do it! That's what banner.
But we'll see if he actually builds any infested Terrans. Like he could land that command center in the back and build them, and then blow up the SCV line if JYJ ends up trying to take top right.
Oof. Well, he actually is defending that center quite well.
Yeah, you know what I'm surprised to see is there has been no spider mines set up anywhere. JYJ has a lot of minerals. If he just had even one factory dedicated to building ultras nonstop, that could be annoying to deal with, especially with all these turrets everywhere. There haven't been any overlord movement with the army at all either.
There are 2 things I don't understand about this place. One of them, no vessels.
Yeah.
And the second, no mines.
Yeah, there's been 0 mines. JYJ has gotten his bottom middle base, but we've got a drop loading up. And he's got his eyes set on that mid-right position. This is a key base for JYJ. If he loses this base, he's going to be basically not mining gas. And in fact, it looks like that gas is messed up a little bit. It seems like only 2 SCVs are mining gas there.
It's crazy to me, Nyoken. He's actually using that cross as an expansion. I remember when we were talking about this map, we didn't expect someone to take it. And look at Soulkey killing this CC as well. JYJ is in trouble.
Yeah, JYJ is in big trouble. Soulkey's about to be maxed. We were talking about the +3 weapon difference for JYJ, but Hydra should have +3 weapon by now. We're going to have another drop down to bottom middle. Tank falls. Econ is really good for Soulkey. What is this, 6 base Zerg versus technically like 1.5 Terran? Okay, good
actually, there is good defense here to this suspension.
Yeah, that was good defense. I wasn't expecting there to be a tank.
But yeah, Soulkey is so good, he's taking more expansions as well. Many queens to trade and to get value from them.
Yeah. And what I like about the queens is he's gotten the armor upgrade, so if any point JYJ transitions into Valkyrie, for example, the Valkyries are going to do no damage at all. They're just going to be completely useless. Wraiths are going to do less damage too. Oh man, he's popping a lot of Goliaths and tanks here, and that's going to open up this base to big-time drops.
I was going to say, Nyoken, if you were the Terran player, what do you spend next?
Yeah, I don't know where you expand. You got to try and split. I actually think he needs to give up bottom middle, because I think it's too hard to defend bottom middle while also trying to split the map. I think he needs to just try and focus on splitting the map, but instead he's going to go for a counterattack here. Remember, Zerg did just use a lot of energy on Broodlings at bottom middle. Okay, we've got a drop at bottom middle, but that's going to get blasted. And Soulkey may actually lose his bottom left base. Not sure if there's actually stuff loaded up in those overlords over there. Okay, they are, because they're coming in again. Oh man, the Broodlings are ridiculous.
He just lose so many tanks and he doesn't have gas to replace them, man.
Yep, he can't rebuild this tank count. I think Soulkey's done it. He's just got too much stuff. He's got too many bases. It's starting to look like a PvT where Preuss has 3/4 of the map.
He can't even go to the main after killing this base.
Yeah, there's no turrets there. It's all where all of his depots are. And I think we're going to see the champ be knocked out in just a moment. I mean, he's not going to give up just yet because he still has a fearsome army. But how do you beat... I don't even know how many bases this is now. What is this, 10 base Zerg?
This is the cross is gone and mech is super expensive. You need many bases as a Terran player when you are playing mech.
Yeah, then this is kind of what happens in TVZ where, yes, you have a lot of timings with your 2-1 and your 3-2, but if you just sit there, eventually the queen energy just builds up over and over and over, and it gets a lot of value, and a lot of the tanks end up just getting absolutely crushed by the hydras now.
Using way too many tanks. I mean, he's taking his base again, but look at the map now. Okay, it's all red.
Yeah, and look at the gas. 10 gas for JYJ. He has no stream of gas anymore. Soulkey doesn't even really need the gases at his bases because all he needs is hydras. Like, he's not only killing stuff with his queens, he's also keeping the queens alive, so he doesn't have to replace them.
Yeah, the decision of not going Vessel is punishing him very hard. GG!
Wow, GG comes out, and Soulkey, he's done it, man. The reverse sweep.
Indeed. What a play. That was a really good play. I don't get the decision of not going like Vessels or Valkyries. Like, even like Valkyries, you get like 6 Valkyries and the queens just like get demolished.
Yeah, Valkyries are really good versus queens, but you do have to get the +1 or get the weapon upgrades on them, because queens with +2 armor like they had, I mean, they're just ridiculously tanky. It feels like you can't kill them with any amount of Valkyries at that point. But I agree with the Vessel. Like, those Lings with Burrow got so much value. They gave so much intel to the mutas where the Goliaths were. Like, those mutas were doing harassment 15 minutes into the game. That's unheard of. Like, mutas should never get that much damage done.
At some point, those mutas actually like shut down the semi-island as well.
Yeah, like, he shut down the semi-island, he shut down the gas at the natural, he got billions of SCV kills. It was just ridiculous amounts of damage that this single burrow upgrade got him. But Soulkey, he has given us the reward of avoiding Terran versus Terran in the round of 4, because he's going to be facing off versus Rush, and we're going to have TVZ once again.
Yeah, it's going to be against Rush, so that series is going to be fire as well.
Yeah, Rush is definitely somebody more standard. Like, I don't think we're going to see mech play from him. I don't think we're going to see this, 1-1-1 type of openers into fakes, into biomech. It's just going to be consistent bio play. But this was an impressive comeback from Soulkey. I thought for sure after game 2, like, I was getting flashbacks to the Hero series yesterday, where Hero just seemed completely dead after game 2. Like, everything was a disaster for him.
Yeah. You know what? In this game, I was actually afraid when he did like the big attack with Hydras and Queen and didn't kill too much. I was actually afraid, like, you know what? Like, actually, JYJ is like probably taking this.
Yeah, the push looked really strong. Like, it looked really massive, especially after he was picking off so many queens with his initial Goliaths. I was like, wow, he's actually done a really good job with the queens, and I thought maybe Soulkey wouldn't be able to hold, but those 20 queens that he did build actually started kicking in a couple minutes later.
Yeah, what a comeback, man. I told you this guy is super, super strong, like mindset-wise. Mm-hmm. I mean, like, this is a legendary comeback already.
Yeah, it was really good. And now we're going to get into an interview with him. I'm sure he's ecstatic about that victory.
I can't bet what he's going to say. Oh yeah, I lose the first 2 games because my hands were cold, and then I got into the sauna. Like, did my sink and I won.
Yeah, something like that. Man, so the champ has fallen, man. That was my last pick to go the distance. I was talking about our 3 picks that we had before the season started, but your man Soulkey, he's still in it. You think he can do it versus Rush, though? Rush and JYJ?
I mean, we are winning the season. What are you talking about?
We're winning Rush? The season. Okay, we're winning it all.
We're winning the season. Like, you think like so small. Now you can think big, bro. Like, we're going for the season.
Okay. All right, so we already are past that. We're already past Rush. We know that Soulkey's going to win versus Rush. Coming out of the losers bracket, who would you like to see Soulkey face off against? We've got Sharp, we've got Mini, we've got Action, and we got Effort. I have a feeling you're going to say Effort because he's also one of your big-time picks.
Yeah. No, 100%. I'm going to say Effort. The thing is that I think Effort can beat Action, but I'm not really sure if Effort can beat Mini. Like, actually, the last time Effort was eliminated from ASL, it was by Mini, and Effort shape back then was like insane.
Yeah, Mini is just a monster in PvZ. But you know, I was reading on Team Liquid, somebody was saying that actually lately Sharp has just been beast moding Mini online, something like 6-1. And Sharp has already looked really good in this tournament, so there could be a world where Mini doesn't even get past Sharp.
Nah, I don't trust that.
You
Like
don't trust
Sharp,
it?
Sharp doesn't have nervous, bro. I saw Sharp actually like losing in some land against Miso. Like that was offline. So yeah, I don't really trust like Sharp offline.
Okay, so we've got some fake news there. We've got Mini already moving on. And I don't know about that Action Effort series. Action looked really good in the one game we saw versus Effort, but Effort has done surprisingly well this season overall.
Yeah, but if you think about it, like Action already beat Effort, so but Action I probably feels confident to go against him.
Yeah, he probably does.
I don't really know, like, and Effort never been that guy that is like extremely good in CBC either. And I know that Action is like being known for the guy as a almost like a CBC sniper, so it's going to be a hard matchup for Effort.
Definitely going to be tough, but once you get to the... Well, honestly, as soon as you qualify to ASL, none of the matches are easy. But once you're in the round of 8, that's where all the killers are. It's going to be difficult for all the players.
And you know what? JYJ did a good job today. To be fair, like he played good. So it's not really like he blundered the games or anything like that. Soulkey is just like, he's amazing, bro.
Yeah, you gotta give credit where credit is due. And I am very happy that it was not another 3-0, because the first 2 games really did look like it was setting up for a 3-0. And JYJ may be a little bit too confident with his proxy 8 racks on Invader. I liked Soulkey's build. Obviously in the last game I liked that, but I really liked his Guardian Hydra play on the retro map. I wish we would see more players mix in Guardians, because I think Guardians are quite good. Whether it's with Guardians and Hydras, or whether it's just building like a couple Guardians to force Terran to use their Irradiates. Because those Irradiates could have been on the Defilers, and if they were on the Defilers and Lurkers, all of a sudden that push is not as strong as it is.
Man, all the time, my Guardians, like I regret making them.
Oh, you do?
And then I like doubting that why I even like play StarCraft or whatever, that I don't even have Legionist that didn't did any damage.
Okay, well I guess it's just me. I guess I have nightmares of facing Guardians, because there are some times that I'll play and I'll kill most of the mutas, right? And I'm like, oh, there they go, I got rid of all of them. And then all of a sudden like 3 or 4 mutas just show up behind my natural mineral line. And I'm like, man, now I gotta use all my Irradiates on this, but I really wish I could use my Irradiates to bust the third base like Defiler and Lurker ramp, you know? But I don't know, I always find that annoying to deal with.
Yeah, Nyoken, but remember, like, you are so old school, like, in 1993, like, people didn't even know, like, build orders, so you probably didn't have, like, the best builds to deal with Guardians. Like, now you actually scan Guardians, go straight to 2 starports, clock, kill them, perfect micro, boom, boom, GG.
Boom, boom, GG. I wish my games were like that. And you're right, I've been playing since 1993. So we get a look at today's results. Started out looking so good for Terran fans. JYJ, man, what a beast. But then Soulkey saying, hey, don't count me out just yet. And he comes back with the reverse sweep, 3-0 in the final 3 games. And as we stated, that gives us our first round of 4. It's going to be Rush versus Soulkey. That's going to be really hype, because as we stated before, obviously Soulkey, awesome in Terran versus, or Eonzerg versus Terran, but equally awesome is Rush, and his multitask is absolutely crazy.
Yeah, Rush is one of the best Terrans. He's able to do some crazy stuff in his games, like the way he actually attacking to lurkers. I don't see really many Terrans like succeeding with what he does. Sometimes it backfires, but I have to say, like most of the time, he is able to do some crazy micro tricks and kill so much stuff and win the games. Even when do you think like he's actually already like gone, the third player on 4 bases, like somehow he find a way to break the defense, and he get the win.
Yeah, that is true. There are times where I watch Rush just stim in and I'm like, there's no way this can work. And like you said, sometimes he makes magic happen. Sometimes it's just a complete disaster, but he's gotten a lot better at being able to read what he can actually bust. And Soulkey, he's going to have to be on top of his A game because if he's ever out of position, even for just a couple seconds, Rush will just kill you. He will go for it 100% of the time.
Yeah, Russia actually is so different from JYJ gameplay that I feel like Soulkey is going to need to speed up in his series about against Rush. Um, he's going to need for sure to be sharp because like the multitask from Rush is going to be insane to deal with. Like, I mean, defending multi from attacks, drops at the same time, probably irradiates. You know, like he can do so much.
Yeah, you know the game on Polypoid was Polypoid, right? Yeah, Polypoid where JYJ or where we saw JYJ versus Soulkey. Like I was actually thinking like this looks like a rush game because he's attacking like 5 bases at the same time. Just absolutely crazy game that was for JYJ. As we stated, next week we have our third and fourth matches. We've got Sharp versus Mini, Effort versus Action.
Yeah, this is going to be insane as well. So, do you actually favor in Sharp against Mini?
No, I am also on the Mini train here, but I was surprised to see that Sharp has been doing better than I anticipated. You know, also Vadi was saying that Sharp is playing his A game right now, so he could be the dark horse of the tournament. Don't count him out just yet. You know, maybe this could be his season, kind of like what JYJ was to season 15.
Yeah, it's possible, but in his case, he's already a guy that is being in the final.
That is true. Um, but yeah, we're about to be wrapping up pretty soon. I think after the round of 8, the schedule is going to change. So you guys should mark your calendars that after round of 8, I think round of 4 is on Tuesday and Wednesday. It's not going to be on Monday and Tuesday again. But this upcoming week, definitely going to be the same schedule. Just something I wanted to point out before you guys show up, 2 weeks from now. And hey, where are the games? And we're not here.
I saw that the final is in a Sunday, so that is a good change in my opinion.
Oh yeah, you definitely got to have the finals on the weekend, right? You want to get the maximum amount of viewers. You want to get all of them coming out to crown the new champ.
Because last season it was crazy. Was it like a Friday or something like that?
I don't remember, but you're right. It wasn't on the weekend. I guess they must have had a lot of events because I know since I was in Korea, they use the same studio for like league events and I'm sure other games. So I'm sure they have to, coordinate among the other games to make sure everybody can get their share of the studio.
Okay, so they do League of Legends events as well.
Yeah. I mean, this particular studio looks different than what I remember, but I'm sure they share it with other games. So, it looks like we may be wrapping up pretty much just instantly here, Eonzerg. So you got any final words before we sign off?
I mean, it's super exciting season already. It's been one of the best seasons in ASL so far that I have seen. So yeah, I'm super happy with the games, man. I feel like everyone's probably enjoying the games as well.
Yeah, we had a lot of upsets in the beginning, whether it's Soma or can't remember who else got knocked out really quickly. Royal got knocked out pretty quickly, Light. But now that we're in the round of 8, the games have really delivered. I'm very excited to see who our new champion will be. And even though I'm not a Protoss player, I am hoping we can get Mini through just so we can get some more Protoss action. Because we really haven't seen that many Protoss games this season. Like the only game that actually is memorable to me is the free versus effort game. Because that was pretty epic on La Campanella.
Indeed. Yeah, man, the Protoss are in station. Let's see if
Yeah.
next season actually we got some more because It's tragic that Rain was eliminated early on. It's tragic that Snow was eliminated early on. So this is what really makes it difficult. Like the best Protoss players getting eliminated. What do you expect? To free to advance to the finals? It's pretty hard.
Yeah, it is pretty tough, and it's funny you mentioned Rain in particular because I asked Jayun, I was like, "Hey Jayun, you want to cast some of ASL?" And he's like, "Well, if Rain makes it, I'll cast some ASL." And then, unfortunately, literally the next day, Rain got eliminated. So rip to that idea.
Oh my god, that is funny. The hopes went away right away, man. Jesus.
Yeah, it was literally the next day. I was like, "Man, you should consider casting." And he literally was just like, "Yeah, I'll cast Rain," and then goodbye, just one and done. He's out.
I guess you're done doing it.
Yep.
Hey Nyoken, did you get the mouse pad? Champions mouse pad?
Nah, I didn't get it, man. I was thinking about it, but I thought that they would have more, and by the time I actually had interest in it, it seems like they're sold out because they're not promoting it anymore. So I'm assuming that they don't have it.
Yeah. And sometimes like that, I wait too much and it's already gone, the product.
Yeah, when it's available, you gotta hop on it because it won't be there all of the time. And we are done today, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll be back next week with Sharp versus Mini and Effort versus Action.
Thanks for watching. I see you.